Alright, hey guys! My name is Crystal, and I am going to be giving a review of the Yamaha R3. My name is Crystal, and I am a 4'10" girl. I'm super short, and this bike has been absolutely excellent to ride. I mean, I absolutely love riding this bike. I got this bike stock, and without having to lower it at all, I'm able to ride it without absolutely any problem. I didn't lower the front forks. I didn't put a lowering link in it. I didn't have to do anything. I didn't even have to cut the seat. And as a under 5-foot girl, again I'm 4'10", I'm able to ride this bike perfectly fine. I can't reach ground. I am still tiptoed, but it's comfortable. And I think one of the reasons this bike is easier for shorter girls to ride is because the tank on this bike is very narrow. I looked at the Kawasaki, a very similar bike, and I didn't feel comfortable on it. The tank was fatter, it was wider, and when you're as short as I am, absolutely any little difference on the bike makes a huge impact on my ability to sit comfortably on it. A few other things about this bike. This one in particular is a 2015. Again, it's a Yamaha R3. I've ridden 600s. I had a Honda CBR for a long time. I had a Yamaha R6. I had a Ducati 750 Super Sport. I have a couple 125s for road racing. And except for the 125s, which are not street legal, this has by far been the most fun to ride. The Yamaha R6 was excellent to ride on a track. I absolutely love riding that bike on the track. But riding that bike on the street was difficult for me, as everywhere I went, I really had to focus very strongly on when I was going to stop and how I would jump to one side or the other. So as you can imagine, when you ride on the street, you can't always plan when you're going to have to stop suddenly. So this bike, I found I've had instances where I had to stop more quickly or turn suddenly or do tight U-turns in the street. And I've been able to do it so far without any issues. Some more things about this bike. This bike, as you can see, let's aim the camera down there. Hopefully you can see that. It has an option to see what gear you're in. This has been almost obsessive. I can't stop checking that. As a street rider for quite a long time, I've been riding since I'm 17. I'm 32 now, almost 33. You ride by feel. I ride by feel. I should, but I don't always know what gear I'm in. So by having this option, I know for a fact, oh, okay, I am in 6th gear. Oh, I really am in 5th gear. So I really like this feature. It also tells you how much fuel is in the bike. That's common on newer bikes, which really does come in handy. One thing people are worried about with this bike is, oh, you're going to get bored. It's not fast enough. Oh, it's too slow. I can't avoid it when I ride. I mean, I wouldn't buy a bike if I knew it was going to be difficult to ride on the highway. This bike is great. It does fine. The speed limit on the highway we're about to get on is about 65. And this bike gets more than enough power to accelerate or decelerate as needed. It has a nice cruising speed on the highway. It would be nice if it had just a little bit more juice, but it's not the end of the world. It's still fun, still comfortable. I still feel safe with the power it does have. And that's an incredibly important thing. You want to feel safe when you ride a motorcycle. You don't want to be worried about your machinery. You don't want to be worried about the bike you're riding. You already have enough to worry about with the bad driving around you. So with this bike, I don't have to worry about my safety. I don't have to worry about, oh, can I not stop fast enough? Can I not turn well enough? Is it going to be difficult to do a U-turn on? Is it going to be too slow entering the highway? No. It does all those, in my opinion, perfectly fine. And again, I cannot stress enough how comfortable this bike is to ride as an incredibly short person. This has been a lifelong hunt for me to find a bike that I can ride on the street comfortably. And I feel like, and I know with this bike, I finally found a bike. Finally! After looking for over a decade, forever, I finally found a bike I can ride and feel good on the street. I've never had issues riding bikes on the track. It's only been an issue of starting and stopping. When you road race, you don't have to stop in the middle of the track. So I could get, when I started out, I would get help starting or stopping in the pits. But again, it has been a lifelong challenge finding a bike for the street. A few more things about this bike. Oh, let me back up a little. So we're entering the highway right now. You can see I entered without any problem. So we're going to accelerate right now. You can see we're doing 80 miles an hour, doing 85. We're doing 90. 95. Okay, we're going to slow down. And you can see how smooth that was. Now we're almost coming to a standstill. And none of this is an issue for this bike. I mean, how awesome is that? On a what's considered small bike, you have more than enough power. You can see right there, I just tried shifting into another gear, but then I realized, oh, I actually am in 6. I can't go anywhere else. So that would be what I was saying earlier. It would be nice to have just a hair more juice, but it's fine. It's, as you saw, it goes great. I just went up to almost 100, and I could have gone to 100, but I didn't. So we're hitting some traffic right now. You can see the brakes on this bike are good. They're definitely not Brembo brakes. They don't stop on a dime, but it stops good enough. Okay, so what I was starting to say before, what I wanted to add is this bike comes in quite a few colors. I believe it's 3, could be wrong. Comes in black, blue, and I can't remember the other color. I think it might be gray, but I could be wrong on that. The seat position, the position that you sit on this bike is comfortable. You don't have a very long reach with your arms. Prior to this, for for quite a long time. I had a Kawasaki 500, and that thing was a tank. You were stretched out so far, reaching to grab the handlebars. It just was not comfortable. Whenever you got off that bike, my back would be killing me. But this thing is extremely comfortable. I'm sitting in not a full upright position. I'm leaned over a little, but that's just because I have very short arms. So I just want to say, as a summary, this bike is an excellent bike I think for all skill levels. My father has this bike as well. He's an experienced and lifelong motorcycle rider. He rides every single day unless it's snowing or below 20 degrees. He lives in up north. I live in Florida. And, he could ride, and he has ridden every bike size. But he finds that one to be just a great, great bike as well. So I believe this bike is not just limited to new riders. I don't feel it's limited just to women. I don't feel like it's limited for riders who are just getting into the sport. I think this is, if you are open to not having a bike that will go 200 miles an hour, this is an excellent bike and fun bike to ride. And in many ways, it keeps you under control on the street. When you have a bike that cannot do 150 or 200, you can't go crazy. And as we know, the accidents that happen, they are on the street much more than they are on a controlled environment like a racetrack. So there is not as much temptation riding this bike to get yourself in dangerous positions. I would definitely encourage anyone who's interested in this bike to go check it out. Go to the dealership, find one on Craigslist, if even, sit on it, see how you feel, and I think anyone who gets this bike, for the most part, would be very happy with it. So this is my review of the Yamaha 2015 Yamaha R3.